Welcome to the Board of Selectmen meeting. Today is Tuesday, June 12th, 2025. Can we all rise for the Pledge of Allegiance? And Tony, can you lead us in the pledge?
Pledge allegiance
to the flag of the United States of America, and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you.
Yeah. Okay, the first item on the agenda, Captain Anthony Granata, and here consider an act on approving a no-cost extension for the period of performance end date to June 30th, 2026 for the Auto Theft and Violence Grant Agreement between the State of Connecticut, Department of Emergency Services and Public Protection, and the Town of Fairfield Police Department, and further authorizing the first selectman to sign and any documents in furtherance of said agreement. May I have a motion?
So moved. Second.
Tony.
Thank you. Thank you guys for hearing me. Thank you for having me. In 2023, the Town of Fairfield entered into an agreement with Connecticut Department of Emergency Services and Public Protection and the Auto Theft Task Force, along with the federal grant that supports it. Agreements 1A and 2A were signed in June of 2023 and September of 2024, respectively. We are now seeking approval for Agreement 3A, which you have in front of you, which will extend the grant period for up to an additional year and allow Fairfield to continue to participate in the Auto Theft Task Force. Additionally, this grant will extend our ability to utilize remaining funds from the grant beyond June 30th of 2025, ensuring continued reimbursement for overtime costs associated with our assigned detectives' work on the task force. The Auto Theft Task Force continues to be an invaluable asset to the department, providing increased staffing, multi-jurisdictional resources, surveillance capabilities, intelligence sharing, and unfettered access to the Bridgeport Fusion Center and partnering federal agencies. To highlight its impact, in this past year, task force efforts led to 50 firearm recoveries, 48 firearm-related arrests, 152 stolen vehicle recoveries, 45 arrests for stolen vehicles, and a total of 122 felony arrests. In FY24, the Town of Fairfield experienced 130 stolen motor vehicles. To date this year, with 2 weeks remaining in the fiscal year, that number stands at 66 stolen vehicles, a reduction of nearly 50%. This improvement is due in part to the collaborative efforts of the task force. Fairfield has received full reimbursement for all Auto Theft Task Force associated overtime costs in both years of participation from this grant. We respectfully request the approval to execute Agreement 3A, ensuring Fairfield's continued participation in this highly effective regional initiative and preserving our eligibility for grant reimbursements moving forward.
Fantastic, and it's $35,000.
Correct. So we have gotten $35,000 twice on June 6th of 2023 and December 4th of 2024. We have not went through that. That money was supposed to be spent by June 30th of 2025, and it was not spent as of yet. And what this does is allow us to continue to spend that money, those funds.
Fantastic. I have no questions about this. Seems like a no-brainer, but any comments or questions from the board?
No, just thank you.
Well, thank you for having the special meeting. The due date on this is tomorrow, so thank you for having that. Thank you so much.
Well worth the $35,000.
Right.
Yeah, thank you. Thanks for bringing it to our attention.
Thank you.
So how many of the 66 cars that were stolen were unlocked?
I don't have that definitive answer for you, but I could get it for you. But I think that when I say in part, a lot of it is due to the trends that are occurring, who locks their cars now, what manufacturers are now putting different, that it's more difficult to defeat the, correct, so.
Do you know for the cars for the last year that were recovered, was it mostly recovered in-state? Like how close to?
I would say the majority of those cars, I would say the majority are recovered in-state and in the larger metropolitan areas in our state, yeah. So it always seems to be, and I don't want to disparage any city, but it always seems to be the larger ones, yeah.
Fantastic. Any comments from the public? Seeing none, back to the board. All in favor, say aye.
Thank you.
Approved, and I'm actually going to sign this and hand it to you.
It's just page 3 where it says grantee. That's it.
Yeah.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you. Thank you, Tony. All right. Here you go.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thank you for your
Yeah.
time. Thank you. Thank you.
Take care. Okay, item 4, we have Bob Wall here, who's the Sustainable Fairfield Task Force Chair. To hear, consider, and act upon a proposed memorandum of understanding by and between United Illuminating Company and the town of Fairfield in connection with the Energize Connecticut Community Partnership Initiative to approve acceptance of the financial assistance being offered and their appropriation for the purposes set forth in the Memorandum of Understanding, and to authorize William A. Gerber, First Selectman of the town of Fairfield, to execute any and all necessary documents to facilitate the town's receipt of those funds and participation in said community partnership initiative. May I have a motion? Bob, welcome.
Thank you.
Hope you're doing well.
I am, thank you. And just by way of background, Sustainable Fairfield applied for this grant in 2023 in conjunction with the Department of Community and Economic Development. And we received that money, and after we had concluded the grant period, we had conversations with representatives at UI, and they had monies left over for that program, and we're offering to all of the participating towns additional funds. And we requested an additional $10,000, which they graciously consented to, and this MOU would allow us to receive it so we can continue doing work, basically to provide education and outreach for energy efficiency to primarily low-income and fixed-income households. But in connection with this additional sum, we requested authority to assist our local businesses. So we've already done an event that you attended at the Fairfield Theater Company, and we had an event this week at the Bigelow Center. So it's doing good work, and this allows us to continue, not necessarily in perpetuity, but for a while, because we're very judicious with how we spend that money.
That's fantastic. So, can you remind me, how do the businesses get free services or up to $10,000?
For certain businesses that have a prescribed amount of electricity usage, they can participate in the Small Business Energy Advantage program.
Right.
And that provides free energy assessments, which, they walk through the businesses and identify opportunities to make improvements and provide information similar to the home energy solutions about incentives and tax credits and on-bill financing to make those improvements.
Like for leaky windows and things like that?
Yeah, and equipment that's not efficient or insulation. And obviously, there are a lot of businesses here that a landlord owns the property and a business is the tenant, but they are allowed to participate, and also covers houses of worship and nonprofits and other entities.
Right. Fantastic. Any questions or comments from the board?
Bob, can you give like an example of something you guys have done for either a residence or a business?
Sure. Primarily, we've been focused on the residential, so the business is kind of a new opportunity for us. But we've done a number of workshops at libraries. Tuesday of this week, we did a luncheon at the Bigelow Center, and we, provide information about these programs. So if you qualify under the income eligible category, there's no cost to have the assessment. On average, these assessments save residents $180 a year, and then they identify opportunities such as you might have a single pane window or insufficient insulation, and oftentimes the incentives cover 100% of the improvements. So that would allow people to save even more of the 180 on average, and that's year after year. So we've heard so much outcry about the high electric bills that this is basically screaming for attention, and this is an opportunity for people to save, and for those in that income bracket, it's particularly critical.
Is this in conjunction with the UI programs they offer, where they come and
Yeah,
do an assessment of your
they're
house?
not actually UI programs, they're administered by UI. These are programs funded by ratepayers through Energize CT,
Right.
through either the Efficiency Fund or the Connecticut Green Bank. So it's really our money, but we're helping people to use it and so they can save money.
Are they actually funding some of like the repairs, replacing a window, putting
Oh,
in
yeah.
insulation?
Yeah, we
like that?
we have data on, there have been hundreds, if not thousands, of residents who have taken advantage of this and businesses. We have the percentages in Fairfield that have done that.
That's really great.
So, yeah, but we still have a ways to go. It's not 100%, it's like maybe 25%.
Thank you.
I remember a neighbor had something where they came and like they sealed up the doors and it blew air into the house and we're able to see where the air was leaking out through different like windows and things like that. And
Yeah,
that's the way to
I've
track
had it done 3 times in our house, and
Yeah.
it's pretty amazing. We have recessed lighting,
Yeah.
and that's one of the biggest culprits.
Right.
But, a lot of the housing stock in Fairfield is older, and, we didn't know as much as we do today about making efficient houses. So, they have 6 inches of insulation, but now they're recommending 16 inches. And, we started with 1 single pane windows, now they have triple pane windows, and
It's a great service. We had it done with our house too, and the things that they found, just about our vent system and just a lot of drafts have gone now, and it
Right.
definitely saw savings in our utility bill. So definitely recommend it, and thank you for your work and for reaching out to our small businesses. And do you have a target of how many you're, in terms of?
we do have a target specified in the MOU for each of the tranches. There are 4 allowable tranches, and we're pursuing 3 of them. So we have so many home energy solutions assessments, so many heat pumps, and so many small business energy advantage customers. I think it was 19 for the businesses. I'm not sure for the others.
Getting on my backup, so thank you for putting on the record.
Thanks, Bob. Any other comments from the board? Questions? Any comments from the public? See none, back to the board. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Thank you so much, Bob.
Thank you.
Great to see you.
I'm off to the Sustainable Fairfield meeting next week. You guys have your next meeting too.
Mary first. Item 5, Chief Dunn. To hear, consider, and act on approving an equipment rental agreement between Seaport, Inc. and the town of Fairfield for the fire department to lease a 2005 Safe Boats International 25-foot Defender and a 2015 Easy Loader trailer for the period of July 1st, 2025 through November 30th, 2025, with options to extend and renew the agreement, and further authorizing the first selectman to sign any documents in furtherance of said agreement. May I have a motion?
Second.
Thank you. Chief Dunn?
Hi, good evening. So what you have before you is a lease agreement, which was sent by the lessor and edited and approved by the town attorney, Phil Pierce. And it's for the rental of a fireboat, a boat that we will use as a fireboat during this season, since, as you know, our previous fireboat was sunk during a storm, and we have a new one in the pipeline, but it will not be ready for this season. So we also have, as you saw, an option to extend, which will be just in case, for any months or whatever we need in the next season if the boat is not there. But we're hoping that we may have something for next season to be able to use on the water.
Do you have an expected delivery date of the new boat? May of 26.
So we're just hoping that comes.
So that this will
yes,
be the last rental year.
Hopefully, yes.
Okay. Any, no, this is the 3rd or 4th year, third year we've been renting it.
It is. There were many delays. We had delays with the insurance company who
Right.
wanted to take a look at the damage, and we had engineers come and see. It was a belabored process, and then,
Yes.
then we had to go through the process of spec'ing, having a committee so that we made sure that we were buying the right item, and then the ordering process. So, you know, it was one delay after another, but we're at least on the right track, which is great. So,
Yeah, long lead time.
yes, yes,
For the design.
construction, yes.
Okay, any questions or comments from the board? Any comments from the public? Seeing none, back to the board. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Thank you, Chief.
Thank you very much.
Okay, for Selectmen's update, I've been asked to let everyone know that on, see you later. Thursday, June 19th, the Fairfield Public Library is hosting a free event at 6:30 p.m. for adults in our community in its memorial room, Remembering the Unremembered, Slavery and Resistance in Fairfield, a Juneteenth perspective on Fairfield's history. We'll be having some guest speakers, and, you know, we'll read a proclamation. Volunteer coordinator Walt Mattis, who will share the history of enslaved and free Black families in our community, offering a unique view of slavery in the North. And the discussion will be followed by questions and answers with the audience. So I hope everyone can make it. Again, 6:30 p.m., June 19th, the Juneteenth celebration. Okay, thank you. So, I have a motion to adjourn.
I just have a moment of personal privilege
Yeah,
before.
yes.
Just want to say happy graduation to
Oh, wow.
of our town's graduates. Yesterday,
Beautiful.
Ward and Ludlow celebrated their graduations. It was a beautiful night, and just want to thank all of the teachers and congratulate the students as they move forward and their families. It's been a happy few weeks of ceremonies, and just thank all of our teachers for this past school year and wishing everybody a happy summer.
Yeah, I was at the Ward graduation, and the speakers set a new standard. They were incredible. Every one of them was just they were so thoughtful and articulate. It was amazing.
Graduate?
I did. I had a graduate.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
Congrats to John.
Yeah.
It's a big deal.
Well,
Very emotional, right?
Yeah.
the charter